Where are you in the storm? In the chaos, can you hear our desperate call?
Hello and welcome to day 4 in our series Navigating the Storm. This series is drawn from the account of Paul's journey to Rome in Acts 27, and our reading today is virtually the same as the reading yesterday. Acts chapter 27, 9 to 12. Much time had been lost, and sailing had already become dangerous because by now it was after the Day of Atonement. So Paul warned them, "Men, I can see that our voyage is going to be disastrous and bring great loss to ship and cargo and to our own lives also." But the centurion, instead of listening to what Paul said, followed the advice of the pilot and of the owner of the ship. Since the harbour was unsuitable to winter in, the majority decided that we should sail on, hoping to reach Phoenix and winter there. This was a harbour in Crete, facing both southwest and northwest. So as we continue looking at the story of his journey to Rome, we read that Paul warns the relevant parties what he foresees happening if they decide to leave fair havens and set sail for Crete. In what should not be too much of a surprise to anyone, the centurion heeds the counsel of the captain of the ship and the owner of the ship, and after all, in this setting, they were the shipping experts, and Paul, one of the prisoners on board, was not. This episode reminds me a little bit of the scene in Luke's Gospel where we have Jesus, a carpenter and rabbi, telling Peter, the fisherman, how to catch fish. Now, I believe in getting expert advice and getting as much of it as possible. Some of the words that I think I live by are found in the book of Proverbs, where it says this: "For lack of guidance a nation falls, but victory is won through many advisors." In any issue we are facing, in any storm that we are in, one thing that I would always advise people to do is to try to get the best advice you can from as many good advisors as you can. Get as many angles on a problem as you can and consider those when formulating your plans and making your decisions. I would say this is especially true and useful if you are experiencing tough times or have got to make tough decisions. But on the other side of that, another thing that I think we should consider, both in terms of navigating life's storms and avoiding them in the first place, is the importance of taking the time and space to look for and listen to the leading of God. And sometimes acting on that despite the conventional wisdom, the opinion of the majority, or the views of experts. Another famous proverb states this: "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your paths straight. And so this is what I try to do, and almost every day, to take some time at the beginning of the day to try to connect to God, to take some time to try to receive some instruction from God. And when I do feel, for whatever reason, that I have that, to trust in that and to go his way. Hearing the leading of God is mysterious and perhaps in some ways messy. Again, I am not saying that because we believe that we may have heard the voice of God on this or that, we necessarily have. But as you navigate your life, may you take on board good advice, but also at times be ready to go beyond the good advice of those you travel with and try to get a sense of what you feel God might be saying to you.